GTA 5 is a game full of criminals who steal just about anything they can get their hands on. Money, cars, drugs, and weapons. But what if for a change, you only use the weapons that you were given to complete the main story of the game? Can you beat GTA 5 with only the weapons you're given? We start off the game with the prologue, where our playable characters, Michael and Trevor, are equipped with what looks to be SMGs. This is the gun the game starts you with, so this will be the only one I can use for this mission. No picking up any of the pistols or shotguns the police officers use. After M fakes his death, we're introduced to the third playable character, Franklin, and his repo partner, Lamar. This section has no combat and Franklin's not even equipped with any weapons, so we move on to Repossession. Like I mentioned, Franklin is wildly unprepared for this mission. Thankfully our buddy Lamar helped us out by passing us this gun, as this gentleman here will clearly not be needing it anymore. So this is where I feel I need to define weapons I am given. We have two different definitions here. One is where another player physically hands me or gifts me a weapon relevant to the mission, or the game randomly equips me with a weapon in order to progress the story, which, as I found out, happens quite a bit. I'll be playing by the first definition here, unless of course the game forces me to use the weapon it supplies me. So at a bare minimum, I won't be using any weapons I steal, buy, or loot off enemies. Lamar passes the gun to Franklin in this cutscene, so we can use this gun. We fight through the gangsters, steal back the bike, and finish up the day. Another day, another dollar, as Franklin is sent to repossess a car that was just bought yesterday, as the owner is already late on his payments. I'm beginning to think Simeon isn't the legitimate businessman he claims to be. We sneak into the house, steal the car, and oh my gosh, it's Michael from the prologue. How long has he been there for? Why was he there? How did he know the car was gonna get stolen? Who cares? Certainly not the writers of this game. Michael forces us to crash into the dealership and he beats up Simeon. Now since God himself gave me these awesome fists of fury, we can just continue this scene as normal. Now comes several missions where there is no actual combat in them, so I'm just going to skip over them to save some time. Franklin heads back to Michael's house for a drink, but is interrupted when Jimmy calls, claiming that his dad's boat is being stolen. To help Franklin fight off the thieves, I have to use a pistol that Michael starts the game with. The next few missions can easily be done with a pistol, although the long stretch is challenging thanks to the sheer number of ballers you have to take out. A bunch of plot stuff happens, including some mild assassination with an explosive bomb we're given, and the next thing I know, Michael and Franklin are teaming up with this guy Lester and a bunch of other crooks to rob a jewelry store. The heist goes down without a hitch, as I don't actually have to fire a weapon the whole time. And now we jump over to the desert where Trevor is living. He's understandably very angry when he discovers Michael is still alive and declares war on the Lost MCs. Again, reverting to the game's weapon of choice, I use a pump shotgun to wipe out the bikers. I kill most of the bikers, and just for good measure, I piss off the local gun runners as well. Trevor then gets a very interesting business opportunity in the form of the Chinese triads, looking to get into the meth business. Here we meet Chef, who is amazing. He gives us not one, but two weapons, the carbine rifle to deal with the waves of Aztecas attacking the kitchen, and the grenade launcher, which deals massive damage. Next is the mission Nervous Ron. I need a sniper rifle with a high-powered scope, and thanks to brand synergy, this kindly ammunition clerk just gives it to us, mods and all, although I do give it a bit of a paint job. We snipe the bikers accordingly, and I use the carbine rifle to take out enemies near the plane. I try to keep this brave biker on the plane as long as possible, but unfortunately he's scripted to fall off eventually. We land the plane having given its cargo to the cartel, but the victory is short-lived when we find out our meth deal with the triads has fallen through, as they wanted to explore a more family-friendly option. A little too family-friendly if you ask me. The O'Neill brothers are way too incompetent to be a real threat. I snipe most of the guards and the carbine rifle easily takes out the guards in the house. Now that I'm out of ammo for the grenade launcher, I just grab the jerry can and pour out the trail and ignite the fuel with the carbine rifle. Now it's time to head out to Los Santos, but not before gifting the remaining Lost MCs with a little surprise, courtesy of my good friend Wade. After a long car ride, Wade's cousin Floyd kindly offers his girlfriend's condo as a new safe house. Up next is Fame or Shame, but again there's no combat in this mission, so it's time to help out the Bureau with Dead Man Walking. This proved super challenging, so much so I had to exit the mission just to get armor, which apparently isn't removed with all my weapons. After dying many times, particularly to these three agents I nicknamed Flashy, Shoddy, and Pew Pew Pew, I developed this tactic where I would run back to the starting room, lure a single agent in one at a time, and punch him just as he turned the corner. Unfortunately, this asshole would often get stuck behind this door. I failed every single time this happened. Upon reaching the checkpoint, I received a text from Dave giving me the location of the pistol I started the game with, and used it to release some stress from this mission as it took me just over an hour to complete. Of course, one favor is never enough for the Bureau, so the whole team has to help out with extracting Mr. K from the agency's HQ. To help us out, Trevor is given a chopper, and Franklin unlocks a sniper rifle. The game tragically forces you to use all these weapons to progress, and it does it again when Michael switches to the advanced rifle during the escape. I grabbed Mr. K, totally nailed this landing, and headed on home for some relaxing yoga. One drug-induced hallucination later, and we're on the mission, Hood Safari. This mission is a lot easier than the long stretch, as I find Franklin and Trevor's AI is a lot better than Stretch's, and this mission is based in a more open area. Sticking with the carbine rifle while playing as Trevor, we manage to escape the ballers, grab some jet skis, and make our escape. Yet again, we're dragged into another mission, and again the game gives us a sniper rifle to complete said mission. You could argue that Dave gives you the gun, but I wasn't too sure, so I just avoided using it the rest of the game. Up next is nobody's favorite mission, Scouting the Pier, which we have to do some prep for nobody's favorite heist, the Merryweather Heist. But it's important to note here that in this mission, you get a sniper with a thermal scope from Trevor, so now Franklin has another long-range weapon he can use. Let's move on to Hotel Assassination, which is super easy when you have two different types of sniper rifles. After acquiring several items for the next mission, it's time for Blitz play. This is another 3-character mission, so Trevor's sniper and carbine rifle are again the only reason I managed to complete this stage. Franklin is also given a few sticky bombs to use here. Mr. Richards, I Fought the Law, and Eye in the Sky pose no real challenge here, so we help out our old pal Martin. Michael uses the gun provided by Martin to shoot down the plane, and I use one of Wade's sticky bombs to silence Javier as Trevor. Trevor also finally gets a win after he kidnaps Martin's wife, Patricia. After we steal another car for Devin Weston, we do one of my personal favourite missions, Minor Turbulence. The carbine rifle is all you need here. We soon realize that we've gone almost 15 missions without doing a heist we actually profit from, so we decide to rob a bank in Paleto Bay to help pay for equipment we'll need on a heist that we don't profit from. Wait, what? I choose Chef as the gunman, and while we wait for the right time to strike, the remaining O'Neill brothers make their move to try to get revenge on Trevor. This does not work out for them, as I still have the chopper from the agency extraction mission, and since it was so obviously given to me as a reward, I get to use the gun it came with to take out the first 2 brothers, and I just use the pistol to take out the remaining one. Actually, that's what I would have done had I not missed my first shot and ran out of ammo, so I just had to melee him to compensate. Trevor steals some military hardware, including a minigun I have no intention of using, and then we hit the bank in Paleto Bay. Chef did brilliantly again, and we made out with just over $8 million. Now that the FIB is off our backs, it's time to fix the whole kidnapped wife of a Mexican-American cartel leader issue. Obviously, a crime is the only way to do this, so Michael and Trevor team up to hijack a Merryweather train. Trevor has to use his sniper rifle and his carbine rifle to hold off enemies, while Michael handles extraction and the getaway has no issues. Of course, this wouldn't be a video game if there wasn't a very big issue right around the corner. The Bureau mission, Monkey Business, sees Michael, Dave, and Steve break into an agency lab to steal a deadly nerve toxin. Annoyingly, the FIB insists I bring my own weapons and can only provide me with a stun gun. Now, clearly, I hate myself because I decided to use this useless piece of crap as the only weapon I use for this mission. My god, this took me like 40 minutes. Steve and Dave are just well past their prime and do not provide me with any support, especially when the army rocked up towards the end. Eventually, I managed to put everybody to sleep and we make a clean getaway. With the Bureau satisfied and Martin paid off, it was time for this run to get emotional, and we had to let Patricia go. Oh, by the way, Trevor fell in love with Patricia. Did I not mention that? Nah, it's minor plot stuff, don't worry about it. After we get home, I decided it's time for me and my other love interests, Floyd and Deborah, to take a little break, so I can focus on planning out our final heist. After a fight with Michael, we return to North Yankton, and uncover his secret from almost a decade ago. I actually didn't know you could start this mission as Trevor, but upon discovering that it's really Brad who's 6 feet under, we make a break for it as Chinese triads from earlier. You know, the one whose meth business we've now toppled, yet they come looking for Trevor. Because 9/11 clearly happened in the GTA universe, Michael now has the bare minimum weapons allowed on US planes, a standard pistol. Now, I have absolutely no idea if this is the same pistol I started the game with, or if Michael just bought this gun at the North Yankton's Domestic Airport's gift shop. So, by the rules of this run, I have to revert to using my fists to defeat enemies. And let me tell you this, that was pure hell. I was stuck. Slow-mo running didn't help, though I'm not sure why I thought it would. All hope was lost, and as I was about to do the unthinkable, just complete the mission with my current pistol and fail the run, I then took another look at this cutscene. Watch carefully. See that? Trevor here throws his gun at you. I think this could be interpreted as him giving you the weapon to fight off the enemies. He doesn't know you can't dual wield in this game, how could he? Now, it's not a very good throw, granted, but can you blame him? He was totally taken by surprise. I don't think he'll ever admit it, but I think Trevor was trying to help you here. So I just used the gun Trevor threw at me to fight through the waves of triads, only to end up being caught and then later rescued by Franklin, who, thankfully, passes us a gun that we can use for the rest of the run as Michael. Again, a whole bunch of plot stuff happens, with brief intervals of violence, but now it's time for the fourth heist of the game, the Bureau Heist. I take way too long to do all this hacking nonsense, and slowly progress through the building. Thanks to a solid crew, I managed to escape with ease. Next up is the wrap-up, and now that I have a pistol I can use, this becomes a pretty standard mission. Trevor really is the easiest character to play as. I use him a lot in Lamar Down, as Michael uses a sniper rifle that the game gives us, and Franklin's only mid to short range weapon is the pistol he got back in Repossession. With Lamar rescued, the Bureau starts pressing Franklin to kill Trevor, as he's just too unpredictable. Yeah, right, I'm gonna kill off the character that's carrying my goddamn team at the moment, sure buddy. Meanwhile, Michael is getting ready for his big movie premiere, which could have only happened thanks to our master negotiating abilities and keen interest in diplomacy. Devin Weston, however, is less impressed with this, so he decides to have Tracy and Amanda killed. Oh god, no, please, not my wife and daughter. Here, take Jimmy instead. I make quite the dramatic entry, accidentally kill Amanda, accidentally kill Tracy, accidentally kill Amanda, purposely kill a bunch of Merryweather goons, and get teabagged by Jimmy. Just another average day in Los Santos. Something that isn't an everyday event in Los Santos, however, is our next mission, the big one. It's time to rob the Union Depository. I select the crew, do some prep work, and choose a more subtle approach. This mission has you equip some rifles that you get from the back of the trucks, but they're stolen, and the only stolen thing I have any interest in using is that big ol' 8-ton pile of gold bricks. The Merryweather counterattack is the only real combat section in this part. I just stick to switching to Franklin when Michael needs cover, and Trevor's carbine rifle took out everything in sight with a simple spray and pray tactic. Even the snipers died within 2 seconds of being mentioned. Dozens of mercenaries and several repeat dialogues later, we finish loading up the cars and make our daring escape through the city streets. Now, you think pulling off the biggest heist in not only the game, but the entire Grand Theft Auto franchise would be the final mission, but no, we still have to deal with these 4 assholes. After a visit from the 4th asshole in question, I select the canonical Death Wish option and bring my allies together. I very awkwardly kill the triads with Franklin's pistol, popped a cap and Stretch's ass as Michael, and got a headshot on Haynes with Trevor's sniper rifle. Thank God I got to storm Devin's mansion as Trevor, and his carbine rifle still has like 1,000,000 bullets in it. Devin's negotiation fell short, and then he fell off a cliff, and I complete GTA's main story by only using the weapons I was given. Well, kinda. Alright, pretty tough challenge actually. Michael absolutely sucks, having only been given 1 weapon throughout the run, 3/4 the way through the game. While Franklin's missions are doable using his pistol, Trevor really saved the run. I love GTA 5 and all, but you get given a lot of random weapons throughout the game. It became hard to keep track of what was given to me, what was stolen, and what was just unlocked during a random mission. I'm thinking about taking this rule and applying it to other games for videos, so make sure you comment suggestions below. Until then, this has been beating GTA 5 with only the weapons you're given. Have a great day.